All right, thank you for staying with us. And right away, the maestro himself is here, Badia Dele. But I want to specially welcome you immediately from the All Africa Military Game. I know you've been so much involved on the program, which I think we didn't leave anything out on the NTA, showing Nigerians and Africans our prowess when it comes to broadcasting.
Quite beautiful, and of course we're proud of what we did. And Abdullah, it's great to be back again. It's been a while.
I know it was energy sapping. So how did you cope? And I know at the time it was serious on you.
Yeah, but that's the job, we've chosen. And of course we enjoy doing every bit of it. Even when I was down, I just, kept pushing. But it's so beautiful to see, how NTA, covered that, covered the games, from, coverage of all the activities daily, to putting up the reports and of course the commentaries. A lot of, work behind the scenes, everyone coming together. We've got a highlight show, the daily updates, and of course we've got the opportunity to also have some content, which we're going to be using for the next few years. So that's quite huge. So it was really something challenging, but we enjoyed every bit of it.
Well, I agree with you. It was challenging, but I know we've always been capable looking at the human resource and the commitment of the NTA management towards ensuring that Nigerians and indeed Africa didn't miss out anything when it comes to good organization and delivery. I think kudos to you and also the NTA management for that wonderful thing because the credit, is a shared glory as the Nigerian military is also taking the glory. I think NTA will be sharing in that glory for being able or measuring up to expectations.
They couldn't have put it any better, Abdullah.
All right. Well, can we just briefly also look at the case of win hosting to win? I let Nigeria won in terms of the overall medal, chart and you know the conclusion of it.
As Team Nigeria, talking about the Nigerian armed forces, we went there with all the local governments in Nigeria, about 774 member contingent, and that was quite interesting. And with that, we were able to win a lot of medals. Athletics wasn't one of our best, it wasn't our forte at all. So, but in other sports we did so well and we excelled, and there were some sports that Nigeria did showcase the stuff we're made of, and of course quite interesting to see that. And at the end of the day, with about 114 gold medals alone, we were just far gone, and there was no way Algeria could catch up with us. And even if we gave them about 60 medals, they will still 60 gold medals, they wouldn't still catch up. And of course, Kenya, coming third, but it was quite interesting. The first edition, we traveled to Kenya, Nairobi to be precise, that year. We gave a good account of ourselves. And of course, in Nigeria now, we've posted and won it. So it will be quite interesting to see what happens in 3 years' time. The first edition was in 2002. Surprisingly, the second edition didn't come until 22 years later. But we hope to, have the third edition in 3 years to come. Because two countries have already put in their bid, to host it. That we're waiting for the General Assembly of the Organization of Military Sports in Africa, being headed by a Nigerian, talking about Major General Mikano Abdullahi, to take a decision on that. But what we've done in Nigeria is huge, but we must build on the successes recorded so far because Algeria gave us a good run for our money, even with the contingent that they brought to Nigeria. So if a country like Algeria, if they try to put in a bid and they win it, just forget it.
All right, well, Bade, we want to say kudos to the Nigerian team and for winning that the second edition of the African Military Games, hoping that other federations who came, saw some of these sports, I think can also tap, from the successful athletes
Abdullah,
moving forward.
they were fully involved, and
Okay.
that's one of the beautiful things about AMCA 2024. All the federations, they took charge of their respective sports as if we were having national sports festival or any type of competition. They were 100% in charge,
Okay.
and they allowed them to do it in terms of the technical decisions, the officiating, the rules, and everything. They were very much in charge. And that is what we're witnessing gradually, whether you like it or not. All our first medals in all these, international competitions, especially from the Olympics, we got we got people from the military and paramilitary that delivered it to Nigerians. So let's see again how we're going to have all these teams, all these guys from the military doing it in volleyball, in basketball, in handball, in football, in athletics, marathon, all these things. Let's have them again.
All right, buddy. Well, this is still Capital Sports. Don't forget, it is one program that will always given you opportunity to be part of. Well, as we speak, we'll be opening the lines, expecting you to be part of the conversation when you call in the studio line, and the line will be displayed on the screen for you to be part of the conversation. Moving forward, buddy, let's look at the issue of the just concluded. First edition of Engineer Abu Gumel Weightlifting Open Championship. I think it's one way to encourage grassroots sports development. This is what we've always talked about on this program, and I think it's one way to go.
Very well said, Abdullah. And of course, it did start on Sunday, Monday, and ended on Tuesday. And if you look at it, one of the sports, that we know that we've always trusted ourselves in Nigeria is weightlifting and powerlifting. When it comes to the para event, it's been called powerlifting. And of course, we've done so well. But after doing so well again at the 2023 African Games, it wasn't the best of outings for Nigeria at the Paris 2024 Olympics. And of course, we do know that the best option is to go back to the drawing board. They've got, a dependable president. And of course, we do know that the president of the Nigeria Olympic Committee, talking about Abu Gumel too, is a lover of, all sports, especially weightlifting, volleyball, and all that, tech ball. He will always show interest. So it was, very much important to have that type of person support that type of, events to have, to discover new talents. And one of the things that, they took as their aim was, for us to start preparing for the next challenge.
Okay.
And of course, the road to LA 2028. And that's what I love. We were able to speak with the boxing person yesterday. He said they are starting that. The person from weightlifting, he says they are starting that. Already last Sunday in Abuja, the Badminton Confederation of Africa, they already, started their road to early 2028. What we're trying to say is that that's the new thinking when it comes to the Nigerian sports project. You don't have to wait till January 2028 before you start preparing athletes for the Olympics that will be coming up in the summer. Let's start immediately now. So let's know those that will tell this is what you don't have to take. So that it won't be like few weeks to that time, they will tell you that you've taken hard drugs or a prohibited substance. If it's Apple that is bringing the advanced stuff in your body, let's know from now. So it's beautiful. And at the end of the day, the federation they said they've been able to discover new stars. They will work on them now. Those that are coachable, they will work on them, and those that they cannot continue, maybe they will have to drop them. So expect stars that were talents that were discovered at that particular competition to become stars for the country at the next African Games.
All right, well, beyond the intent of, getting the stars to land that Bielsa won, Oyo came second, and Delta in third position, which I think.
You would not expect any other state to do that. Because when it comes to all those combat sports, gradually, and of course, when it comes to anything that our power is involved, you expect them, and we cannot again, rule out the thinking when it comes to those states about sports. Bielsa, from the governor and everyone there, the commissioner for sports, how, even the commissioner for sports who happens to be the president of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation, Daniel Egali, was present at that particular event. And of course, also, talking about Delta State. Delta State, this, what we're adopting now at the federal level, they've always had it since being a, National Sports Commission instead of the Sports Ministry. So you know that they really mean business when it comes to sports. So you wouldn't expect anything. And they involved everyone. Even the general manager, NTA Sports Channel, was there to, witness, and he was invited to come witness all these things, that they are being serious about these things. They are starting their road to early, and nothing is stopping them.
All right, well, I think that's commendable, Buddy, and we hope to see more of this championship being organized by partners, private sector, while government is also trying to do so much, for our athletes, while we target medals in the future. Let's look at the Chan Eagles now. The days are counting by. Already in December, and Ghana is one team that we cannot afford not to prepare very well. We've seen series of the Chan preparation. Now we've seen another list again. This time around with the inclusion of some names that were not there earlier. What's your take on it?
Rabiu Ali is 44.
Okay.
But I want to believe that, is one of those guys that, they really gave out their real, age. So I want to believe that on a normal day, it was supposed to be another player. Maybe by now we'll be claiming 31. So cut, the coach who has invited him some slack is still providing the assist and still getting goals for Canopy. Why don't we put him there? He's qualified. It's for players plying their trade in their own country.
Yes.
And of course, Ahmed Musa has been ruled out because he has a short-term deal with Kano Pillars, and the term says he could leave anytime. So we saw new faces, and of course, though some of the players too have already had stints with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But it's a banana peel facing Ghana. Two things. Ghana has stopped us from most of the beautiful things that we could qualify for recently. The same Chan has stopped us around commentaries, during in the second leg at the stadium here, at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, the last time around. Now we just need to beat them over two legs and qualify again. So this time around, they stopped us from the World Cup, stopped us from Chan, and so many things we've met them to at under 20, under 17 level. It's not been the best of results for us. So this is the time for us to get it right against Ghana. Then secondly, this is one of the worst times possible for their senior national team. Talking about the Black Stars, all the fans, they've just not been violent, but they've been a little bit violent too at match centers. So the fans don't want to see the Black Stars at the moment. So one of the ways they can redeem themselves is by beating Nigeria and qualifying for Chan, because they will not be part of the AFCON. So you cannot miss out of AFCON and miss out of Chan. So it's
That would be
so,
double
so,
jeopardy.
so that's and thirdly, you have to, whether you like it or not, you have to put the you have to put the jollof battle in between. The jollof battle, who cooks the better jollof and all that. So we are fighting not just for national pride, we're fighting not just for qualification, but everything you can think of is on the line.
All right. Well, but we hope that the best legs will be selected and go execute that match for us, so that what is most important at the end of the day will be the qualification ticket, which all of us are all highly expectant of getting with the caliber of players and Augustine Iguavana and his assistants will be able to do for us. Quickly, the CAF Awards to the days are just close by. Our own very Demola Lukman, Chiamak Naduze, these are very prospects of those who think should be able to win something big for us, because their performances has taken they have taken them to a stage where we cannot rule them out from winning the prestigious individual football awards.
Abdullah, it's easier when it comes to the men's game. But the battle has always been between the francophone and the anglophone. And of course, but so many things could, play a part. But it's going to put a dent on the name of that award, if you do not give it to, Ademola Lukman. that would be daylight robbery because it's clear as a day. He has to win it, and that's just it. And of course, Chiamaka Nadoze, CAF came out to the final
Five.
five, on Wednesday night, and Nigeria we found ourselves in five categories. And of course, Chiamaka Nadoze made the top five in two different categories: the goalkeeper of the year and the women's player of the year.
Yes.
And of course, we have a little angel too, Chiamaka Oku Onochukwu, and she's been named, as one of the five shortlisted for the Young Player of the Year award. Coach Christopher Danjuma too has been named, as one of the top five, for the Coach of the Year. While the Super Falcons of Nigeria, do not forget that their heroics, at the World Cup and everything at the Olympics, everything that they did will count for this type of award. So they are also in the running for that. So at the end of the day, I still believe it's going to be a good night for Nigeria. But will it be a repeat of last year's, awards that we had, Osimen and Oshuala? Sadly, the two of them did not make it, but Chiamaka Nadoze won the goalkeeper of the year award last year,
Sure, sure.
and I do expect her to still retain it. But no matter how they do it, I think she picks at least an award this year.
All right. Well, I think it's a good one for us, and that is what we've always also talked about, buddy. There's no way we're giant of Africa, looking at our population, looking at the prospects and talents we have, that you cannot have Nigerians, competing for top honors, particularly individual honors in sports. And I think that is the way to go. And thank God we're making, the final shortlist, and we're looking forward to 16th of December when the winners will eventually emerge. And like you will also say, the francophone anglophone issue is one thing you cannot just also put aside,
I'm
because
telling you.
those more politics and politics
But you
also.
know what's funny there? We find out that some Nigerians fail to always vote our players. I'm not as journalists, some other people who get the privilege to vote Nigerians. You won't find an Algerian doing that or a South African doing that, but you will see them voting for Kenyans and Zambians. And I think we're not being sentimental, but we do know that our players actually deserve it. So what's that take?
All right. Well, you still have the opportunity to reach out and be part of this conversation, with so much on the menu and also being talked about on the program. And Badi has been, talking about some of these issues and making sense in them. So it can be you now to talk to us, and the line to call is on the screen for you to be able to lend your voice to what we're saying here. But before we get, because okay, I think we have someone already on the line. Hello, good afternoon. What's happening? So you can call us back, and we'll actually definitely want to hear from you. But quickly, before we get some of these calls, coming, there is a fight, a boxing, bout that is coming up in Port Harcourt, and the World Boxing Federation president is already in Nigeria to be part of, that fight. Jagba, Taiwa Jagba, I think, is one boxer that has always, live up to his name. Is also on the ring on Saturday.
Abdullah, I'm expecting a total showdown, and of course, a shutdown too of PH City.
Sorry, Golden Man. What's happening to the lines? I think we have callers, but okay, sorry, continue, please.
And of course, from what that could have brought the president of the world body, and that was one of the things we talked about when we had the opportunity to speak to the interim president of the Nigeria Boxing Federation, just on Wednesday. And of course, that's huge, Abdullah. And that's what we've always talked about. Are they going to bring back the boxing nights in Nigeria? We know that so many people have been trying to do it. What's the work of the Nigeria Boxing Board of Control, the NBBFC? And of course, all these things that we've been talking about. But the one in Port Harcourt is huge. And of course, we're all looking forward to that. And of course, knowing the caliber of fighters there, you wouldn't expect anything less. And of course, I always tell people about, Ajagba himself. Like, you know what he can do any day, anytime. And of course, I've always felt like by now it should be even, be in another level entirely. But it's just that some of those challenges that is faced so far. But let's hope that this fight can actually propel some of the fighters to bigger things to come. But everyone, we cannot just wait to see how that is going to pan out. And I don't want it to just be like a one-off. I know that it's happening this December, and the next time it's going to happen will be like December 2026. No, can we have it even quarterly? Could be too far. Let's have this like at the end of maybe a last Friday of every month, last Saturday of every month. Let's have all these things. We have the main fight and the undercards, all of them. Everybody will be looking forward to that. You can make that city the city, or you move it. This month we have it in Port Harcourt. Next month we have it in Lagos, Ibadan, Kano, anywhere, Abuja. Everyone will be looking forward to that. And people always think that maybe sport doesn't sell. Actually, it sells. You just have to package it the right way.
All right. Apart from that, we're also looking at another international, boxing fight, Dubois and Parker. And Saudi Arabia has become a home of, boxing fights. What should we also be expecting from this big
It's
shots?
it's tricky, Abdullah, and of course, at some point, both of them they've been able to face Anthony Joshua. He succeeded with one, and the other one, he got a beating of his life. It's but you cannot use Joshua as the yardstick to judge the two of them. But I expect it to be, to Parker is not getting any younger. And the boy, many people have felt like maybe because before he fought Joshua, so many things surrounding him, and of course, him returning to, the ring. But I still expect a cracker. I expect, an unpredictable bout. But at the end of the day, it's too difficult for me to predict who's going to win. But do I expect an instant knockout? I feel it could go down the wire.
All right. Well, that is one heavyweight fight we'll be looking forward to seeing how it comes out at the end of the day. And these are big shots that have lived up to their names, doing what they know how to do best and getting results that different about they had in the past. And so this one, like Buddy said, is not one fight that one can easily say this is where it will go. So we look forward to that fight later in the month. And also, let's quickly look at uh, Novak Djokovic thinking about 25th Grand Slam. Is that possible?
It's very much possible, Abdullah. And, since, Rafael Nadal is not there again, Roger Federer is not there again, and the Murray, he went on that silent retirement. Maybe it's going the way of, Serena Williams. We couldn't get that perfect farewell at Wimbledon. So it's the only one there. We have young guys who don't want to, who are giving him a good run for his money, and they've stopped him. Alcaraz is there, and all of a sudden, Sinner, he's just there, and he doesn't, want to allow anybody, Yannick Sinner. So it's really tough at the moment because of the young guys. Just these two. If others were to be the obstacles, I would have said maybe okay, it could have a chance, but it's still difficult. But it just takes you catching Sinner or Alcaraz, or you being at the other side. Two of them face off in the semi-final, and you get to meet Alcaraz or Sinner in the final, and one of them has a bad day. Djokovic was able to beat Alcaraz in the final at the Olympics to get a golden slam. Because when you win gold at the Olympics, it becomes like you've won everything. Since you've already won all at all grounds, or Wimbledon, US Open, Australian Open, and of course the French Open at Roland Garros. So the lightning could strike twice. So it's very much possible for him to break that record and get it.
All right, thank you very much, Buddy. I think the director is saying we have to go before we get a yellow card, and we wouldn't want to get a red card, so that we'll be able to come here next week with another episode of the program. I must thank you very well. I know you've been busy and the AMGA knocked you down, but you still find time to come and talk to our viewers there, giving them depth of analysis on some of these issues on
Thank you,
on the world
Abdullah.
of sports.
Thank you, Abdullah, for having me. And I wouldn't know, maybe the red I'm seeing in your shirt is part of the celebration
I
of
wouldn't want us to talk because
Arsenal studio win over
I wouldn't.
Manchester United.
Are you celebrating or your money?
I don't know. I don't. When I see good football, I
Okay.
always entertain it. So that was good football for me, and of course, I was really, really, entertained.
And congratulations to us.
Congratulations to everybody, including Chelsea and Manchester City fans.
We'll talk about that in our next episode. Thank you very much, Buddy. We just have to go. And Daniel, the director, and Abubakar are saying we just have to go for now. And thank you for your company. Those who have made effort to reach us, but the line didn't allow, we also appreciate you for investing your time with us on Capital Sports. Let's do it again, same time, same station next week. I remain Abdullah Hajia. Bye for now.